Alright folks, Rooster here in Tennessee, going to do a real quick video for you this morning. Today we're looking at the Dentron Clipperton L. This one's in really good shape. 4 572Bs. We just got done installing 4 brand new Taylor tubes into it. Matched Taylor 572Bs, a quad set of them. It's running about 2700, 2800 volts on the plate right now. That's in the high voltage mode, the SSB mode, or whatever you want to call it. This is obviously your plate meter, shows your voltage. On and off switch, powers the amp on and off. It does have a standby mode on it where you can just talk around the amp. You don't engage it. It does run on a foot pedal. I've got that little foot pedal down there. You do have to key it with a foot pedal. These are your tuners down here to the bottom. And then your band selector over here. This one's obviously been expanded to 10/11 meter. Amp is in good shape. It does have a little stuff back here on the back. I don't know, some sort of sticky stuff on it. Probably scrub and get it off. There's a look at your tubes. And yeah, these are good amps. They're older amps, but they are good. This one's hooked up on 110 right now. And I do forewarn you, this son of a gun will pull 20 to 25 amps on 110. It pulls some real current. I've kicked a 15 amp breaker twice back here playing with this thing. So that's all I've got it hooked up on is a 15 amp line. So you hook it up on a little bit better line, probably get a little bit more power out of it and run a whole lot better, a lot more efficient. It does have a fan on the back of it. That's about it. We're just going to show what it does in PEP, peak mode here. 2500 watt slug. Let's see, peak kit's on, top scale. See if I can navigate everything, key the pedal and run the camera here. Hello, audio, 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 1 2 3, audio, 1 2 3. It's showing over 2 kW. Hello, 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 hello. I'm going to let off of it before I kick the breaker, but that's what it'll do. That's with running this little thing into it. This thing does about 190 watts PEP, and then this radio does about 35 going into it. Now, do I recommend running it that hard? No, I don't. I don't recommend running it on the high voltage setting and running this into it. If you're going to run it on that setting, number one, it's recommended to run it on sideband. You don't have to do that. You can run it on AM, but don't run as much drive into it as I did. If you want to get long-winded and do a whole lot of talking on it. Now, I've seen people run 400 watts peak into these amps, but that's not something I recommend. I recommend anywhere absolute max 150 to 200 peak. You just saw that was about 190 going into it, and it did over 2,000 watts peak. Really, 100 watts going into this thing, peak power, should push it to 12 to 1,500 watts peak. That's my recommendation for it to get long-winded and talk on it as much as you want. 572Bs, good tube. If they're not abused, that's what it runs. They won't quite take a beating like a 500Z or anything like that. They will give up on you if you beat them up day in and day out. But if you run them right and don't overdrive them and get crazy on them, they'll last you a long time. But that's it. Again, yes, you can run this much into it. Do I recommend running this much into it day in and day out and getting long-winded? No. I recommend 100 to 150 watts PEP going into it, and you should see anywhere from 1200 to 1700 PEP out of it. Dentron Clipperton L. It's for sale, local pickup only. I don't want to ship it. It's kind of heavy, it's kind of old, and it's probably kind of fragile. So if you're interested in this thing, let me know. I'm willing to meet on it within a reasonable distance. And shoot me a text if you're interested. 423-299-3535. This is the Dentron Clipperton L. Catch you guys out there, 73s.